Hey, it's Andrew Walton with Neil Patel, and in this video we're going to quickly look at improving the copy on forourresume.com.au. So I don't want to go too deep into page flow strategy and what have you, but generally, in terms of laying out buttons and what have you, this would be a call to action to actually um, get into the service, and how it works would probably go right below the fold. It'd be the next thing that you show people. So one of the reasons for that, home pages are difficult, right? You have people coming here from everywhere, from different traffic sources. They're at different stages of awareness. So what you do is, in general, is you make your main offer. The people who are at that stage of awareness, who are ready to take the offer, they can take the offer. Now, for everyone, the majority of people who aren't ready to take your offer, they have to get more information. So they scroll down and now they see how it works. And you have another call to action. If that's enough information for them, now they can take that call to action. If they're not, you have more information, you have more benefits, and what have you, and so on and so forth. Scroll down, get testimonials. Should ideally be an actual call to action to get the service again at the bottom. That's about all I want to say about that. Homepage design is a rather deep and messy topic, so we can probably go into that in a different place. In any case, looking at the copy, let's start with the headline. Increase your chances of landing your dream job is a little bit non-committal. It would be like if Ramit Sethi for Earn 1K said, here's how to earn $1,000 per month in your spare time, maybe. So we're talking about a resume writing service here. What is the main problem, the main pain point for a job seeker who wants a better resume? The dream job is certainly the end goal, and it's smart to include that in your messaging somewhere. I'd probably be more inclined to include it in a subheadline, not necessarily, but most likely. So what is their pain specifically as it pertains to resume writing? Is it that they send out 100 resumes and don't get any responses? Is it they don't even know where to start, so they don't send out a resume? What is that problem that they have, that specific problem around resume writing that you're going to solve? Once you solve that problem, an additional benefit can be that getting this done will help you get your dream job, but if they can't solve that immediate, tangible, urgent problem, then the dream job is out of the question anyway. One of the things that I liked most on this page was this idea. You're avoiding the bin. And if we think about it from this perspective, then really the thing that the resume does is it gets you an interview. That is the ideal outcome. So I think if you can, with this copy, sell the idea that you can get an interview basically wherever you want as a result of this resume writing service, that's going to be an awesome outcome. In terms of making this copy awesome, I don't think you have to have the brand here. If you want to include this, put it up in the logo in the top left. Save this copy for the real hard-hitting problem, opportunity, value, result type propositions. So a lot of this actually comes down to what the client's fantasy and nightmare scenarios are. And again, I think this avoiding the bin, there's going to be a lot of powerful imagery surrounding that you can tap into. So with that said, something like this doesn't really add much because none of your competitors are probably going to say that they are slow, expensive, and unprofessional. So this in no way differentiates this brand. What does differentiate the brand, presumably, is that you have a 4-hour turnaround time, and perhaps they have some sort of a performance guarantee or something like that. But this is very branding-y type copy, where you might see it on a billboard or something that's not direct response, something that isn't designed to create a response, and as such, in this sort of context, I would avoid this. It would make more sense even just to remove this and have this section start sooner, for example. Or you can take the how it works section and pop that in here, as I talked about at the beginning of this video. Okay, so let's look at the 4 top benefits. So here we're looking at keyword rich. I don't exactly understand the benefit of this. How does keyword rich help the resume avoid the trash? That is unclear. It's a good idea if you have some sort of named technique that you use or some other reason that it won't end up in the trash. That is the right strategic approach, but tactically, this needs refinement. Be memorable is pretty good. I'd be more inclined for something like get noticed or be unforgettable. Be memorable is pretty good though, but I'd be much more specific with the benefits. So fine, you're going to create a memorable resume, but the client doesn't really care about putting their best foot forward. That's not their goal. Their goal is to get an interview and to get hired. So if you say that the resume is going to help them get the result that they want, instead of using this sort of vague language that sounds like it means something, but it's not clear what, this is going to be much more effective. And here, if you want to be a little less convoluted in the copy, you could say something like that you can get your resume in as little as 4 hours. That way you're not making a guarantee that it will be within 4 hours, but that this is possible under some circumstances. And that way this can be phrased more strongly than find out if you qualify for first draft within 4 hours, which is, it's okay, it's the right idea, but it's not the strongest way of expressing it. Here for the fourth benefit, so you're talking about how the company will demonstrate how perfect you are for the position authentically and professionally, which is an okay start. But if we think in terms of pain points and benefits, then you might say something like, companies say they want one thing, but actually they want something else, and we have the insider knowledge to understand what hirers, HR managers, or whatever you want to put, hiring managers are actually looking for. This bit about your mom, first of all, be consistent with the spelling. You either use British or American convention and stick to it. But more importantly than that, this is something you really have to test to see if it resonates with your audience. I can't tell you. I don't know for sure. I'm sort of slightly suspicious that it doesn't, that it's more trying to be cool and interesting, which I actually commend you for trying because a lot of copy is dry and boring. But this is something you really have to test with the audience, because when you miss on something like this, it leaves the reader feeling kind of disappointed almost. Like, oh, they don't really get where I'm at, that sort of thing. So again, this might work, it might not. You really have to test it with your audience. Get started now. So this is all over the place in terms of the copy. Need a resume in 4 hours. Need us to review your current resume. A completely different offer. Are you a student trying to showcase your skills with little experience? That is, again, a third, almost completely different situation we're talking about. So if you want to do this, then I would almost put this in a bullet list, either 1 column or 2 column, depending on how many points you end up with. Have a hard-hitting, benefit-rich headline, and then say something like, we do X, Y, and Z, and our services are perfect for you if you are, and then go into your bullet list, if you are a student trying to showcase, are a student trying to showcase your skills with little experience, if you want a resume written from scratch, if you want an existing resume improved, if you need your resume done really quickly, and so on and so forth. You can go through 5 to 8 bullet points, 10 bullet points, and say, well, if so, we have a package for you. Click here to see them. And we've already talked about this. I'd have another call to action for the actual services. Oh, yeah, and don't call them testimonials. Call them something like client success stories or reviews or something to that effect. Testimonial is the word an advertiser uses. A case study or a review or something like that is the word the audience uses. When you say testimonials, you're basically saying, hey, come watch me try to sell you some stuff. That's basically the situation there. So switch that out and use a headline here. Say something like, over X happy clients served, or see our client success stories, whatever benefit-rich headline here, changing sections, and then you can have one more section with your final call to action. Well, I was almost able to keep that under 10 minutes. I hope this was useful. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll see you in another